Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to NBC News Daily. I'm Haley Hines with your Midday Ark-La-Miss update. Ouachita Parish Sheriff's deputies are investigating a shooting that left multiple people injured. Details are limited, but we do know is that the shooting happened on DeLocke and Miller Streets in South Monroe. Deputies say there are multiple shooters and victims involved in the incident. This is an ongoing investigation, and we will update you as more details are released. Moving on to some education news. Last month, Neville High School submitted an application requesting to be converted into a Type 3 charter school. At tonight's board meeting, was joined by concerned parents and faculty to discuss the conversation of the school. Board members also approved moving forward with the parent and faculty vote.
We want all stakeholders that will be impacted and affected to get full information, to get truthful information and transparent information on whatever decision they choose to make.
At least half of the parents must vote yes to continue the process. Once the application process finishes, the school district must act on the final decision before or on January 17th of 2025. And out of the state capitol, House Bill 1 in the special session would change the tiered individual income tax system to a flat 3%. People making less than $12,500 would not pay any income tax. There are some concerns over the cut taking away $1.3 billion in revenue, which the tax plan would make up for through expanding the sales tax.
We're making up for the revenue reduction through services and sales taxes. How can we truly say we're giving the people of Louisiana a tax break?
And you look at shifting more toward consumption-based tax, and you're giving the people the option of where to pay their tax, because I don't think that you would argue with me that income tax obviously punishes people for making more money.
The sales tax bills have not been debated on in the House. The House also passed a bill that would do away with the corporate franchise tax, which not many states in the South levy on corporations. It would not impact the state's budget. More of the sales tax bills are expected in committee on Thursday. And continuing that coverage, the governor's tax plan also proposed to remove film tax credits last week. Now stakeholders in the industry and local lawmakers are speaking up about the potential impacts.
You hit the nail on the head. Anytime an industry is looking where it's going to invest, they need predictability, they need stability. So the fact that they are now on the chopping block will have a huge effect on the industry's decisions to make long-term investments in Louisiana, irrespective of what the outcome is.
The measure has passed a House committee and moves to the Senate next week. But according to stakeholders in the industry, the mere consideration of cutting the film tax credits programs could affect productions in the near future.
And now, exclusive Storm Tracker Doppler weather with meteorologist Chase Ward.
We are expecting more rain and thunderstorms to begin popping up for this afternoon as a cold front will be approaching from the northwest. We'll see widespread stuff mostly along and east of Highway 165 for our parishes and counties, mainly along the Mississippi River Valley itself. And there's a chance we might see maybe some gusty winds, maybe some minor flash flooding. Excessive rainfall will be possible. We could get up to about maybe 1.5 to 2 inches in some localized spots really quickly. But by 7 8 o'clock tonight, most activity is going to be out of here. The skies begin to clear, and we'll see winds continue out of the northwest, really be cooling us down. We'll probably see some mid-40s across sections of southern Arkansas, and tomorrow expecting lots of sunshine as we trend cooler with the cooler air mass that will be in place, and will be very nice and pleasant closing out the week. Now, as far as severe weather, again, gusty winds, possibility maybe some slight excessive rainfall is possible. Again, mostly for areas highlighted in the darker green shade there for mostly our eastern zones along the Mississippi River Valley. Expecting a low of 51 degrees for tonight as skies clear. For tomorrow, our temperatures will be mainly in the upper 60s as the sunshine. It's going to be really nice as we go into Saturday, and then by Sunday next week, the clouds begin to build back up. Along with these temperatures, they're going to be climbing back above average to the mid-70s. Scattered showers are possible on Tuesday, but Wednesday, after our next system passes, we could be cooling back down to the lower 60s.
That's it for your midday update. NBC News Daily continues.
When you see news happening, call the NBC 10 Fox 14 News Hotline, 812-1410, sponsored by RoofMax. Get a free estimate today.